The school bully is bullying a female classmate. Not a single student in the class dares to stand up. Then a timid underachiever grabs his hand. This angers the bully, and the result is that the underachiever gets beaten half to death. At this moment, the underachiever picks up a pen from the ground and aims it at the bully. The bully dismisses it with contempt. He even grabs the underachiever's pen and aims it at his own eye. But in the next second, the underachiever actually stabs him. This is the consequence of bullying innocent people. The underachiever is sentenced to imprisonment because of this incident. After recovering from his injuries, the bully finds the underachiever. He swears that when the underachiever is released from prison, he will make him pay with his own blood. The underachiever desperately pleads with him, but the bully just coldly responds with 3 unforgiving words. This poor underachiever is named John. He has just recently entered prison, and he has already gotten into trouble again. During a game, the foolish John accidentally injures the prison bully, Peter. As one can imagine, during the break, Peter drags him away. John struggles with all his might, but no one comes to help. At this moment, a cold-hearted man approaches. Suddenly, Peter's people become obedient. John realizes that perhaps this man can save him, so he breaks free from the restraints with all his strength, and tightly clings to the man's legs. The man knows that Peter is about to bully the newcomer again, and he's ready to take John away. Peter feels humiliated. Immediately, he swings his fist, but the man skillfully dodges it. Then, with a single punch, the man knocks Peter down. John escapes a disaster in this way. Afterwards, Peter harbors a deep grudge against John. He keeps a close eye on him, waiting for an opportunity to seek revenge. At night, John lies in bed unable to fall asleep. Every time he thinks of the danger from the bully, and the bullying in prison, he is filled with fear and dread, which often leads to sleepless nights. He decides that he needs to become stronger, so that no one dares to bully him again. The next day, he finds the man in prison. He wants to learn combat, to become powerful, no longer wanting to escape, no longer wanting to be weak. The man looks at him, as if seeing his past self. He tells John, as long as he can complete 100 laps in 40 minutes, he will agree to take him as his disciple. Ordered to become strong, he perseveres in running 100 laps in 40 minutes every day. Time passes second by second. The scenes of bullying from his memories are vivid. They make him unable to stop his footsteps. Perhaps he should give up at 60 laps, as giving up is also a form of courage. At 80 laps, he is already behind schedule. What is the meaning of perseverance? At 90 laps, he falls down and vomits, gets back up and continues running. At 100 laps, he surpasses himself, breaks through the fear. The past weakness that allowed himself to be humiliated must be changed. The night of John's struggle to sleep, the man witnessed an astonishing endurance in this foolish boy. Although he exceeded the training time limit, the boy has already surpassed himself. To help John become stronger as soon as possible, the man has John do a set of push-ups to assess the situation. But John is like a sponge. Then they move on to pull-ups. After the test, John's data is 21 push-ups, 32 sit-ups, and 0 pull-ups. The man tells him that from now on, he must add 1 to each set of data every day. In the following days, the man teaches him boxing, leg locks, endurance training, and resistance training, day after day. After a period of training, John breaks through in strength and punching speed. At the same time, the school bully who was stabbed by John joins a gang, and becomes a powerful member of the gang. He returns to the prison side, and Peter, the bully, invites John to a meeting in the warehouse, seeking revenge for the past humiliation. This time, John doesn't back down, but bravely accepts the challenge. In the warehouse, the two of them immediately start fighting. Although John is agile and manages to land several hits on Peter, Peter's tough skin and muscles prevent John's strikes from causing significant damage. In the end, Peter knocks John down to the ground, but John's strength lies not in his physical power, but in his endurance. Each time John is knocked down, he gets back up, and each time he falls again, he rises once more. Finally, in his last attempt to get up, John uses a headbutt to knock Peter down. Fortunately, the man arrives in time and pulls John away, or else Peter would have suffered the consequences. John became famous in the prison for his victory, but it was also the moment of parting with the man. As it turns out, the man was transferred to another prison. Before leaving, the man left John with a sentence: a shark without fins must never stop swimming. John engraved these words in his heart, and continued to exercise every day even after the man's departure. However, without the man's protection, John was once again approached by the prison bully. The skinny boy in the prison approached a group of prison bullies. He wanted to defeat everyone present. As soon as they met, they started fighting directly. The skinny monkey-style technique of the opponent was very powerful, and the boy struggled under his leg strikes. Luckily, the boy had strong resistance to punches. Although he was knocked down by the skinny monkey multiple times, he kept getting back up time and time again. Using his endurance, the boy fought fiercely against the skinny monkey. At a critical moment, John remembered the lock technique taught by his master. He applied the lock technique tightly during the fight. finally winning the match. Although he was caught by the arriving prison guards and locked up in solitary confinement, John did not give up on training. He continued his daily exercises. After his victory, John not only gained the respect of the prison bullies, but also became friends with them. It was the first time he had friends. The day came when John was released from prison. It was a long-awaited day of freedom and warm sunlight. He decided to start a new life, but as soon as he stepped out of the prison, he encountered the school bully who had once tormented him. The bully had been waiting for him here for 3 whole years. Without exchanging many words, they both took off their jackets. Years of hatred were about to be resolved once again. The bully wanted revenge for the eye he had injured years ago, and John did not want to run away or be bullied anymore. Although John had trained day after day in prison, he still struggled in hand-to-hand combat. The bully trapped John's head and mercilessly beat him. After 3 years of training, John was not willing to accept this outcome. He got back up, recalling the words spoken by the man. A shark without fins will die if it stops swimming. He must keep swimming with all his effort. 3 years of hard work were meant to prevent further bullying. If he couldn't defeat his opponent, how could he allow himself to fall? He remembered the different techniques the man had taught him, and with a single punch, he hit the school bully in the eye. The injured bully lost his fighting ability from that moment on. Although he could still land punches on John, John no longer dodged. Both sides engaged in a test of endurance, one punch after another. They both contained resentment, wanting to knock each other down. In the end, John gathered his strength and unleashed a powerful punch. The bully dodged, fearful and intimidated by John's strength. John released his grip on him and walked away alone. The bully looked at him with a mixture of resentment and anger, but he was powerless. In the final scene of the movie, John embarked on the journey back home. This was a path to a new life, no longer running away, no longer being weak.